Good morning. Our parasha, Tazria, talks about one of the highest levels of impurity that a person could reach, which is tzarat. Tzarat, it's translated usually as leprosy, but it's a very unique illness that affected people for spiritual reasons. And they say usually affected people that had spoken lashon hara, that spoke evil of others, and therefore the punishment was that the person had to be isolated. But who decided if a person had sarat or not? You could look at blotches on the skin, you could see something on the skin, but how do you know if this person actually has this spiritual illness? Only the Cohen, the priest, was the one that will come, look at the person and say, either you're pure or this bad news, this is tzarat. And the person had to go outside of the camp until he will become purified. He had to reflect on what brought in this punishment from God. And once he was pure, the Kohen will say, you're fine to return, and no more isolation for this person. So it's interesting that the only one that had this ability to say this person is tameh, this person is impure, actually has this illness, is the Kohen. Question is why? What if the teacher of the Kohen, there was a Talmid Chacham, someone that's an expert, and he knows exactly what color in the skin or what makes a person tzarat or not? Can he say, can he determine? No. The Talmid Chacham, the scholar, has to tell the Kohen, and the Kohen declares the person impure. And only then he goes out of the camp. Even if the Kohen is a little child and he doesn't know all the details and all the laws, his teacher comes and he tells him, you should declare it this way or the other way. And the speech of the Kohen is what determines if the person is pure or not. So the question is, why? Why the person has the knowledge that Talmid Chacham can't declare? Why does the Kohen has to verbalize it? So to understand this, we have to understand that the punishment for the metzora, for the person with this illness, is very, very severe. And we can understand that now more than ever, this isolation. In those days, before internet, somebody to have been sent outside of the camp and be completely isolated, it was very tough. He was disconnected from the Jewish people. And he had to be on his own and reflect what brought him to this situation, and do teshuvah, return to Hashem, make a strong commitment to change his way, and only then he could return to the camp. Now, why only the Kohen? Let's understand what is a Kohen. A Kohen, our sages say, is Anshei Chesed, loving and kind people. They have in their hearts tremendous Ahavat Israel, love for every fellow Jew. As when they bless the Jewish people, what blessing do they have to say? Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, blessed is God that sanctified us with his mitzvot, v'tzivanu, and he commanded us, levarech et amo Israel, to bless the Jewish people be'ahava, with love. No other mitzvah, we have this condition that you have to perform the mitzvah with love. One of the reasons is because God doesn't demand from you something you can't do. But the Kohanim will learn have so much love in their hearts for every Jew that they are able to fulfill this mitzvah. So what is the lesson for us? That the Cohen, he loves so much every Jew that he will take his time. He will not right away say, oh, this person is tzarat, out with him, isolate him out of the camp. No, he will try to find every way to avoid that punishment for a fellow Jew. And only there was no alternative. Okay, sorry, this is the situation. You have to be isolated. So whenever we have that ability to say someone is impure, someone is wrong, someone is not doing the right thing, we find a chisavon, which means something lacking. We find a fault on a fellow Jew. Before we push him away, we isolate him, we do anything negative to such a person, we have to first analyze ourselves. Just like the Cohen had to do everything with ahava, with love. Am I criticizing this person because I love him and because I want him to get better in life? Or I'm doing because I'm mirroring, I'm finding some defect that I have, but I'm in denial of my problem, and I find another person, I lash out on him and say, oh, look, this is person so bad, and I insult him or make him feel bad. So always when we see something wrong, the Baal Shem Tov says, look at yourself first. There is only two reasons why God could show you someone doing something bad. The first reason you have to look at, perhaps I'm doing the same thing, but I'm blind to my own shortcomings. And God is showing me somebody else, oh, wow, this is so wrong. This is really disturbing to watch this behavior. Perhaps I'm also doing it. And if you really look sincerely and you don't have that, so God put him in your way for you lovingly to help him put him on the right path. And only when you can do it with love, especially when talking about our children, when you're not upset, you're not yelling, you're not angry because of their behavior, only when you're calm and collected, and only then you can reproach someone and say, look, this, what you're doing seems to be wrong. Please, let's work out a way to fix it. So we learn from the Kohanim this beautiful trait of doing with love everything that we do. We are in the counting of the Omer. The second week is the week of Gevurah. Gevurah means discipline, strength. But it has, how do we start the week? Chesed shebigvurah. Loving kindness in the discipline. For the discipline to be effective, it has to be done with loving kindness. Only if you show that love towards the other person and you mean it, the person will accept your reproach and your critique and your discipline. Let's hope that we have this Ahavat Israel that is so important. Manifest that love and kindness to every single one of our brothers and sisters. And we know that the temple was destroyed and we were exiled from Jerusalem because of Sinat Chinam, for baseless hatred that we had to each other. Let's hope that Ahavat Chinam, baseless love, which is not really baseless, there's always a base. We are brothers and sisters, but without any special reason, show love to all our brethren, and may Hashem will bless us with the Mashiach now. Thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed day.